One love to the humble. One love to the humble. One love to the humble. How y'all doing out there today? Hope y'all doing well. Hope everything's going good in your life the way you want it to. I gotta say, um, in the black community, man, it's a lot of crazy stuff going on, and it don't seem like nobody really cares. If they do care, it's not enough people able to come together as one to make something change. It don't seem like that, but we need to get the word out, find more like-minded people, so that maybe somehow, some way, everybody can come together and try to override the nonsense, because the negatives seem to be getting all the spotlight. That's what it seems like to me. I saw something, I don't know if it was today, yesterday, or whatever, but it was a situation where a black man shot a black cop. And I looked at the post, and I was looking at it on TikTok, and everybody seemed to be celebrating the killing. Everybody seemed to be celebrating the shooting, and it's kind of shocking to see. It's shocking to see, because these are the same people that, at the same time, say that Black Lives Matter. I don't believe them anymore. I'm past believing that stuff, because I know that it's not true. It's all about ego and hatred. That's all it's about. It's not about caring about anyone, because they care about no one. And that's the reason why they are able to do the things they do and get away with it, and nobody blinks an eye, and everybody makes it justified. But it's not really justified. It is a real problem when you really think about it. It is a huge problem. But I'm going to tell you this. At this rate that the black community is going, the black community will soon find itself right back into slavery again. Well, how do you say that? Easily. If you can't see the trends and you can't see what's happening, then you don't understand anything. I suggest you stop, take a look at what's going on around you, and start connecting the dots. That's what I suggest that you do, or else you won't see it until it's too late. And hopefully you're not part of the ones who will become slaves again. You do know that all black people weren't slaves back during the slave trade. Some of them owned slaves, because they were the smart ones in my book. I'm no longer taking the approach that everybody else is taking. I am not in no way saying that slavery was a good thing, but I am saying I do understand, because that was the time, that was the sign of the times. During those times, that type of thing was very, very, it was done all over the world. It was just the way things were done at the time. Up until modern day, we have romanticized it, and we have turned it into a negative, and which is, I'm not saying it was a positive, but we really exaggerated what it really was. That's what we've done today. And I'm no longer believing the lies, because it just don't pass a common sense test for me. You can keep believing what you want, but I'm not going to believe that. I'm going to use my common sense. I don't believe all of the cases of the women doing slavery were just getting taken advantage of. I'm not going to believe that, because it's not happening today. So what made me think it would be any different then? Some of them were just probably attracted to their person, to the slave masters. They're probably just attracted to them. I don't believe they all were just taken advantage of. And you look at us today and you say, well, how can you say that we're going to end up, not we, how can you say black people are going to end up back in slavery? Well, let's go down through it and we can take a look at it. If you look at what happened to black people ever since the civil rights movement, look at the downward spiral that we've been in. But see, what's really been happening, we've been going down ever since. Go look at the stats. Stats don't lie. You can go look at health, you can go look at economics, you can go look at marriages, you can go look at birth rates, you can go look at all of those things. It will show you where we at. They keep track of this, and this is just what's getting reported. It's probably a higher number than that. And nobody's caring about it. We partying, We watching football games. We just having a good time while we spiraling out of control. Look at the unaliving rate amongst us. We lead the way. Look at the violent crimes. We committing most of them, and we're 13% of the population, but we're committing like over half of the violent crimes. We filling up the prisons and we say, oh, we're not guilty. It's because of racism. It's because of white supremacy. That's why we doing this. No, it's because you're committing crimes. That's the real reason why it's happening. I'm no longer going to stand and just let it be. I'm no longer going to stand on the sideline and just go keep cheering on the nonsense, because that's exactly what it is. Complete nonsense. But, oh yeah, it's headed back in that direction. If you look at right now, look at the women in the black community. The government pretty much owns the women in the black community because they have no husbands. And now the feminism is being pushed on them heavily, and they fight with you in a relationship. They competing with you in every which way. Then if you're raising up sons with no fathers, they're going to be weak. Unless they find a way to strengthen themselves, they're going to be weak men, which is where we at today. We have a bunch of them out here. Good people, just weak, not able to lead anything. And what does that do? Where you have weak men, you have no society. There's no strength. There's no nothing. And if our community gonna have a bunch of weakness, then that means we'll be the first to be taken back into it. Back into slavery, that is. So let me start over again. The women heavily rely on the government. If they're not relying on the government, they're selling their bodies. They're twerking. They're representing themselves in the lowest way possible in every avenue they can. As soon as a camera come around, the first thing they're going to do is turn around. Or they're going to stand sideways. Or they're going to do something to the effect to show the back side of themselves, not the front. This up here in front don't matter. What matters is what's behind me. That is how it's going to go down. And that is what everybody is doing. And you tell me that ain't a low vibration? You tell me that ain't a vulnerable people? It's very vulnerable. Look at the men. What are the men doing? The men are wearing their pants below their butt. The men are out here gangbanging, violence, offing each other, stealing, robbing, playing games, joking around, taking nothing serious, weak, can't lead a relationship, creating babies out of wedlock with no intention of marrying the person that they're having them with. Don't even like them. It's just a sexual thing. And we're being told that's the way to go. Just have as many women as you can. That would destroy a society. But we're still doing it, and we're still cheerleading it, and we're congratulating it as if it's something to do. It's destruction at the highest level. Now, who do you think is easier to get into slavery? The vulnerable. Who's the most vulnerable right now? The black community. Because they're asking for help. And anybody that you keep begging for something from controls you. And when they control you, you will do whatever they say if they give you something. Especially if they make it seem like, oh, you deserve this. You earned this. You're supposed to have this. When ain't now black person alive today had anything to do with slavery. You know, they're not owed anything. They was born here just like everybody else that was born here, and those who decide to work hard and build themselves up, which everybody has the right to do, to work hard and build themselves up. But no. Since I have a shortcoming, I didn't work hard and build myself up, I'm going to blame it on slavery. I'm going to say, oh, it's slavery's fault. It ain't slavery's fault. It's your fault why you don't have what you want to have in life, because you didn't want it bad enough. You was told to be a victim instead. So you take the victimhood route instead of being a man. You got grown black men around here crying, whining, and begging for stuff. Your favorite black leaders crying, whining, and begging. They got you crying, whining, and begging like a weak man. That's what weak men do. Them men ain't strong. They're supposed to be building schools. They're supposed to be doing all these things. They're very weak. I don't care what you say. I don't care what they're wearing. I don't care how many, all this paraphernalia, well, not paraphernalia, but all this garb and all this stuff they're wearing. I don't care how tough they're talking. It's weakness. Because what real men do is build. Real men don't complain and whine about a situation. They find a solution and they fix it. This is not what's happening right now. You got a whole generation of men weak. And then if you go back to the whole slavery thing, how do you think they got them into slavery? No white people wasn't going over there just taking people against their will. You think that's not what happened? And if you believe that, I don't know what to tell you. You need to educate yourself. That's not how it went. They took the people who was already slaves over there because slavery was already a thing. The Europeans and the Africans had been already trading goods and people for centuries. That was just the way things were done. They take the slaves that they have and they sold them off to the Europeans. Nobody went and took nobody against their will. That's the lie they want you to believe. They didn't do that. And it wasn't taking kings and queens from over there. Like we say today, oh, we were kings. No, we wasn't. It wasn't taking them. They were the ones who was selling you off. Selling the peasants, the lowest of the low, the bottom of the barrel. That's who they were selling off. But yet, here we are in this country, blaming it on, like, oh, just white people's fault. So we don't care about the root of anything. We just care about the cause. I mean, not the cause, but we just care about what's happening. We're not looking at the root of any problem. Because nobody cares about that. This ain't about nothing but money. But you can't tell black people nothing. They've been sold this lie, and they're conditioned to believe it, and they will fight you tooth and nail to maintain that victim mindset. They don't want to grow. They want to stay on the plantation. Because that's where you're going back to. I put money on it. I may not be here to see it, but it's going to happen. None of us may be here to see it, but it's going to happen at this rate. We're not doing anything of significance right now. We're doing nothing but destroying and begging and whining and complaining. And one day somebody's going to come along and say, you know what? Let's put it right back in there. And it might not be the physical form of where it was before, but it would definitely be in the mental form. And who's the best one to lure you back in? The person that's closest to you. The person you respect the most. If you go look at anything about the mob, whenever they was about to run a hit on somebody, how did they do it? They wouldn't just send a stranger in there. They would send the person close to you to lure you in, so you wouldn't think nothing of it. They call you to a meeting, and your closest friend would be like, yeah, we're going to do this and that. You trust your best friend. And they bring them into the spot, and boom, it's all over. Same thing they doing here. They put your people that you admire the most up in front of you to sell it on you. The same way they did in Africa, when they sold them over to the Europeans. And that's what they're doing right now. Running the same trick. They put somebody up there that look like you, or talk like you, and act like you, and you say, oh, I can trust them. And you're getting lured in every 4 years. It's the same old play. And it works like flawlessly every time. They got you afraid to do anything else. But you're going to end up back into mental slavery. And it's going to be a wrap. It's already getting there right now. If you can't look around and see that it's already almost a wrap, why do you think they're bringing all these illegals in? Because they already realize you done for. It's hopeless. Nobody gonna respect you no more. So what you talking about don't matter. They're gonna push you down, which they already have. It used to be like white people, black, everybody else. That's not the case no more. Ain't the case no more. We down to number 3 now of importance. Go look it up for yourself. It's going to keep going down because we're going to keep acting a fool. We're going to keep doing stupid stuff, keep not realizing what's going on. And it's be all over. Nobody's going to be thinking about you no more. You'll be insignificant. You're already getting there. Just keep on. It's going to get worse. You'll be right back into it again and wondering how you got here. Well, you got here because you ain't got no sense. You gotta stop pretending like everything is good when it ain't. Because we got a few entertainers. That's all we look at, these stupid entertainers. These stupid rappers, these stupid singers lullaby you into a trance where you can't see nothing. You ain't paying attention to nothing, not even your own life. You don't even build for yourself. You complain about somebody won't give you a job, but yet you won't go out and build your own job. You begging for somebody to do something for you that you could do for yourself. You don't need all this stuff, but you still beg for it. You're gonna end up right back into, you begging to go back into it by the way we acting right now. Because we acting like fools. I was sitting the other night watching a show on TV called Patrol Live. And it got to a scene where I watch the differences. Whenever they go to a crowd of white people, it's always like something that's easy to handle. But when there's a crowd of black people, it's always chaotic and out of control. Always. It had one scene where they pulled somebody over for drinking and driving. They got them over. They had a car full of people. Then next thing you know, everybody started crowding around. And the guy put the camera over there on the crowd, and the girl turned around and started twerking. She started twerking on national TV at a traffic stop. That's crazy, man. If you don't think this, I mean, I know it's becoming like more and more normal, but that's not normal. It's craziness. We don't want to be able to exercise our right. We don't want to do what's good. We don't want to. We want to keep staying at the bottom. We want to keep doing the negative things. We don't care. We're getting lured in every time. We're getting lured into the nonsense. These are the people who represent everything. They set the tone for the culture. That's why I made the other video saying the black community is in a disarray. That's why I said the black culture is garbage. It's trash. It's trash. It's pathetic. But we begging for it to get right back into it by our actions. This is what we want. We want to be back on the plantation. We don't want to be able to do what we're doing right now. We got all the opportunities, but yet we still begging for more. There is nothing else to give. When you gonna say, all right, it's enough, I'm ready to step out on my own? No, we don't want to do that. We want to be on the plantation so bad. But don't worry, you're gonna get it. You're right back out there picking cotton again. And whatever else they come up with for you to do. Because you don't want to do nothing for yourself. This is what we love. This is what we enjoy. This is what we love and enjoy. And believe you me, they're going to give you every bit of it that you want. Get somebody up there to say something crazy about some collard greens and they black when they ain't black, and we just eat it up. And they luring you right into some nonsense. Another 4 years of nonsense. Another 4 years of terror, not having strict laws, so that the crazy among us that look like us can keep on being crazy. Well, that's my time. Y'all take care.